Fancy seeing you here on a Wednesday. This is a bit of an update, and it's going to be my new weigh-in day, and everything's gone tits up. And I've been to Valindra today, and I was told something today that I'm never going to hear again in my life, and it was bloody lush. This is just a little quick update because I've had problems with my videos. A couple of you, well, more than a couple of you, said couldn't watch the video, it was flickering. Well, when I upload my videos, I don't watch them back. I upload them, chuck them on, you watch them. I didn't know it was flickering. And I've recently got CapCut, which I've got to say I really like, even though it's pricey. And I deleted off my InShot, and I thought, I'll just use that now. But it's causing a flick, you know? So I tried watching it myself, and although I could have watched it, if you suffered from epileptic seizures or that, my videos would have given you one. Yeah, it was really flicking, but only on certain parts. And my brother-in-law's quite techie, so I asked him, and he reckons it's to do with the lighting, and then my camera's trying to do something and it's not work. He did explain it, but you know, went in one ear, out the other. So I'm planning on using my GoPro a bit more. So yeah, I'll probably do that. Anyway, batteries are on charge. I've had hell of a day. So the flicky video, I was having problems with storage in my phone, right? Warren bought me a storage thingy-majiggy. So I was sorting all that out. And then, because I'd uploaded the video to YouTube, I deleted the main copy and double deleted it out of the recently deleted, so it's gone. So the only version of that video is the flicky one. So I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm keeping it on my phone at the moment because it's got the footage of the scratches on the car that I've borrowed that I've actually got to take back tomorrow, and I'm gutted. I wanted to keep that for a while. Anyway, let's get down to it. What's happening? Right, we are now going to go back to weigh-in Wednesdays, which we used to get. If you can hear any beeping and stuff, I got chicken cooking. Weigh-in Wednesday. I'm going to weigh on a Wednesday because I can. Because I like the tone of weigh-in Wednesday. So I'm going to do a weigh-in Wednesday, right? So Wednesday came today, set my app, added in my easier days, add an easier day for today. I had some rather bloody delicious calories, I'll have you know. It was over 3,000 calories today. And I was like, oh my God, lush. And I think I got one, I had one in for Friday, right? So I was like, well, anyway. Had food, went out with Warren to Valindra. You'll see all this in a video I'm hopefully going to get up whenever, tomorrow, tonight, who knows. Hopefully you are watching this one tonight, the 9th of April, today. So we went to Valindra, got to Valindra, cut a long story short, they hadn't booked me in. They rang me, told me to come in, they hadn't booked me in. So I did live up to my name, and I went into Karen mode, but very nicely, and I was like, my husband's got day off. Anyway, they said, oh, don't worry, you know, come on, you know. I didn't actually have tears, but they were nearly there. Anyway, they were all ready for me to piss off home and come back. She said, you know you're in at 11 tomorrow, don't you? And I went, no. Oh, you haven't been told that, have you? I said, no. Well, anyway, Warren was like, right, let's go. And I went, no. So I said, I want to speak to someone. I want to know who rang me and told me to come here at 10:15. I want to know. Anyway, this really nice woman coming along, and she just apologised. She said, look, it was the planning team. They cocked it up. We're really sorry. And And I was bloody pissed off because as we got in, there was a parking space right there, and Valindra is a nightmare to park. Anyway, parked up, off we went, and anyway, off we come back out, back out. Got in the car and we sat there and we were like, oh, should we just hang around for 3 hours having a chat in the car, have a kip to keep the space? And then I was like, oh, let's go for food. So we ended up going for a drive around Cardiff, and Warren was like, do you know where you're going? And I was like, no. And we ended up in Lanarkshire, and there was a Marks and Spencer's there. So I said, oh, should we just go in Marks and Spencer's and get some posh sandwiches and that? So he was like, yeah. So we went there, got food, came home for literally 3/4 of an hour. Then we drove back, and I went for my appointment, which was a nightmare. I had to get into some right positions, let me tell you. Tits out, everything. Come back with tattoos, not very nice ones, they're just black dots. Ninja's going to go off in a minute if you hear beeping. I've been tattooed at the front and at the sides, ready for April the 28th. And I had a phone call while I was in the car park. I couldn't believe it. Phone call saying, it's Prince Charles Hospital. We're calling you in to have your knee op. I said, hang a banger. Hang a fucking banger. I said, I can't do it. Oh, why's that? I said, well, I said, I haven't lost the weight I said I was supposed to. And she went, oh, and I went, and you can add breast cancer into the mix. And she went, oh, I'm so sorry. I said, no, it's all right. I'm still alive. And she said, oh, yeah, you can't go ahead with that then at the moment. So I said, oh, the fucking dog. Back door's open and the dog's kicking off next door. We'll carry on, though. I won't edit that out. Bit of dog barking's nothing. Shut up, Blue. Anyway, so I said, I can't do that. I said, don't take me off the list, will ya? So she said, fuck's sake. You'll be coming in here now and bounding on me and knocking the tripod over. I said, oh, does that mean I've got to come off the list? And she said, no, I'll tell you what. She said, if I give you 6 months, so that's going to be October. She said, I'll give you the number. She'd give me her name. And she said, ring me in 6 months and then you can make an appointment to come in. But in my head, I'm thinking, 6 months. I want this bariatric surgery before I get my knee done. So then I can get my knee done. Because in 6 months, in reality, yeah, if I really push it, I can lose like 5 stone. 6 if I really went for it. But I'm still not going to be at a BMI of 40, which they want me to get to. So it's like, fuck's sake. And now, the question is, am I going to lose weight for the next couple of weeks? No, I can tell you I'm not going to lose any weight for the next couple of weeks. And shall I tell you why? And there's not going to be a Wednesday weigh-in for about 3 weeks. And I'll tell you why. No one's ever said, she said to me, I'm going to tell you this now, she said, love, and no one will ever tell you this again. So I said, go on then. She looked at me and she went, you're beautiful as you are. So I looked at Warren and Warren laughed. I was like, what? She went, you're beautiful as you are. You must not lose any weight. I'm like, sorry? And we were laughing and she said, no, on a serious note, she said, you can't lose any weight and try not to gain any weight. But she said, you can't lose any weight. She said, because they're going to measure you up today and the measurements have to be exactly the same for you to have your treatment, which starts on the 28th for a week. So what I'm going to do, no one's ever told me I don't need to lose weight. Well, they have actually said, oh, don't lose weight, but they're only saying it to be kind. Like, oh, you're fine as you are. Don't lose any weight. Yeah, right. Okay. But I said to the girls when I was lying there, tits out, I said, this weight business, I said, I try and vlog it, on YouTube to lose a bit of weight and stuff. So I'm not allowed to lose any weight then. So she went, no, she said, honestly, she said, you need to stay exactly the same weight as you are now until the end of your treatment because we're going to measure you up. So I was like, oh God. So in one hand, I've had the phone call for my knees thinking, right, let's get on with it, start losing weight. And then on the cancer side of it, I've had, you mustn't lose any weight just yet. It's the 9th today. My treatment finishes on the 2nd of May. So from the 2nd of May up until October, well, not up until October, but October's on my knees, I'm going to have to bloody go for it, and I sew my mouth up. Ring the doctor. I need to badger him, say, can I go in next week and have this bariatric surgery, please? And yes, I know I should be able to do it on my own and all that, but I'm 50. Come on. Some of you have been watching me for years. I'd be thin now if I could do it on my own. I'm good for a few months, then I fall off the wagon. Then I'm good, and then I fall off the wagon. I'm not as big as I was, don't get me wrong. I was a very, very big bird, and I'm still a big bird, but not a very, very big bird. Well, I'm still very big, but you know what I'm trying to say. Not as fat as I was. So yeah, that's how it's going to be. However, in my busy, hectic day, I weighed myself on my new scales, which Warren got me. They're really good scales, I've got to say. They weren't cheap, but cheap doesn't buy good all the time, does it? And I wanted a pair of scales that weighed me the bloody same. Do you know what I mean? The same weight every time. Not every time I get on, weigh me a different weight. Like the scales I had, I could weigh 10 times, I'd get a different weight. The first one would be the heaviest. I would then go with the second one. So I got used to the scales. I would always weigh and take the weight from the second weight on the scales, right? But Warren said, oh, I'll get you these scales. They talk to you and that. Because I said, oh, I could do with some that talk to me. You know. So that is what they look like. I will put in the next clip me weighing on them this morning. And that is the weight that I need to try and stay at. Now, they did weigh me, when I weighed on them and compared them to my other ones, a pound heavier. Last week, I was 22.8 on my scales, my other scales, my normal scales. So technically, I would have been 22.9, say, on these new, you know, on the new ones. And then when I weighed on them earlier, which you'll see soon, I was 22.8.6, maybe. I can't remember the point, because I don't count the points on the end. Points, what points, eh? You know? I just go with the stone and the pound. So that's what I'm going with. And that's what I'm going to have to stay at now until the week after my treatment. It sounds delicious, doesn't it? And you're probably thinking, oh, bloody hell, she's going to get some good old calories. That is what it looks like without any easier days in it. So it is, I have to write it down, it's 20,230 calories. That is for the whole week, spread across the week. It's 2,890 calories a day, which is quite a delicious day, isn't it? I'm going to have a look at the app, and I might see if I put an easier day in today, because although I'm not on maintenance calories now, I can still put easier days in and have more calories one day than the other. But would I need that many calories on one day? Do you know what I mean? I am meeting my friend on Friday, so I might add one in for Friday and see what happens to today's, because I've still got 1,800 and something today without it even being an easier day. Because when I was in the car after I'd come out of my appointment, I was fiddling with Nutricheck, annoying Warren, because he was like, can we just go? And I'm like, hang on, I'm just doing this on the phone. So yeah, and you watch, because I've been told not to lose any weight. I bet I'll lose weight this week. I'll just have to, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll eat breakfast every day, or maybe I'll just have bigger, not necessarily bigger meals, but more calorific things. I don't know. But cancer's got in the way of this friggin' weight loss malarkey. I cannot believe they finally rung me about my knees. Can't believe I'm still, well, I can't believe I'm still fat. But my life would be very much improved if I just had my left knee on my bent leg done alone, you know, without my right one, although that needs doing as well. If they do my left one, then like, but 2 years later, they'll do the right one. But I need to pull my socks up. I did wear socks today because I don't like my trotters. And I was lying on the bed with these stripy men's socks on. I must have looked a right munter. But I need to pull my socks up. So I'm not going to bother doing a weigh-in for the next, is it 3 weeks? Is it 3 weeks? Because what's the point of me coming on here saying, oh yeah, I've had a good week, I've eaten this, this and this, or I've had this really fatty thing, and oh, it's bloody delicious, and you're all trying to lose weight. So, it was a bloody little fly there. Did you see it then? It was tiny. Yes, there's no point in me coming on, because you're going to be thinking, oh, piss off, innit? Eating all that nice stuff, and there's us on our lettuce. Although you don't need lettuce if you're calorie counting, you can eat what the heck you like, can't you? Even even you. So yeah, I won't do a weigh-in for the next 3 weeks. It's either 3 or 4 weeks. I can't think off the top of my head. But it's going to be weigh-in Wednesday. Okay? So if you want to know how I'm going to get on, I've got quite a lot of stuff really to go on, haven't I? If you want things to watch and I can get my videos up. I've got my cancer treatment now. I'm waiting for the results on that to see if I've gone through the change or not. Be interesting to know. I start my treatment on the 28th for 1 week. Then I need to get my arse shifted to get my knees done. Then I'll have my knee op done. You never know. I might have a new lease of life for a few years before I end up in my coffin. And that's if I don't get heart failure through my treatment, because they've said, as I'm on the left side, I don't know if it's because I'm a big bird or that, but they were concentrating very hard today, measuring me up, because they were like, right, we must miss your heart. We mustn't get your heart. I was like, yeah, please don't. Right, so that's it. That's me weighing. That's what I weighed. And with regards to the scales, because they weighed me like a pound heavier, and I'm weighing what I was on my scales, I would say, just out the top of my head, I've probably lost pound and a half this week, which I'm all right with that. You know, I'm all right with that. So what was my app set? My app was set at £1.5, wasn't it? For last week, before I've changed it now to maintenance. Because it was set for £1.5. Then I thought, oh, I could do with a few more calories. So I set it for this week now for £1. And then they told me that at Valindra today, so I've set it for maintenance. So yeah, it done what it said on the tin, NutriCheck. I've lost £1.5. It was set at £1.5. But when I can lose weight, I might see how many calories it gives me for £2 a week. See if I can do that some weeks. You know, that's a good thing with NutriCheck. You can just go in and change it. So 1 week, if you want to lose more weight, you can have less calories. If another week you want to maintain your weight, you can change it to maintenance. Or if you want to lose just £1. I can't remember if you can do £0.5 on there. But if I set it £0.5, it's going to take me till bloody Christmas for being 2045 to lose my weight, innit? So, yeah. That's my update. I'm going to go now and sit here for 5 contemplating life, because I've been ragged around today. My mother's done my head in. Warren's sort of done my head in. The kids have done my head in. And I'm going to see if I can try and get one of the videos up for you other than this one. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you on the next one. And you're probably wondering, where's this video showing the scales and my weight? Well, I'm going to stick it on the end now because I've been jabbering on too much. So if you want to see them, that was me earlier today. And yeah, I'll see you soon. I'll see you on my normal vlogs, but I will see you on Weigh-In Wednesday, on a Wednesday very soon. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep seeing my updates and my lovely boring life. It's a very boring, busy life. That's what I do have, a very boring, busy life. Right, see you soon. Guys, these are my new scales, so I'm going to weigh on these, and whatever they are, they are. And we're going to go on from there. So you kick the front.
Hello.
Talks to you.
It's ready.
It says it's ready. I'm going to hold my phone in my hand every week now because it's easier than balancing it on the worktop.
22 stones, 8.6 pounds.
And that's what it is. I forgot to show you. Once you get off, they go back to naught and then they say goodbye. Hang on. Don't take that long.
Goodbye.
And goodbye.